The sleeping giant was asleep. For years, we assumed someone was watching. City Hall, the church, the government, somebody. We thought there were adults in the room, paying attention to what was being built around us. But when I started looking, I realized something uncomfortable. No one was coming to watch for us. The people who were supposed to be watching were us. And by the time most people finally notice a project, the land may already be under contract, the professionals hired, the money organized, and the plan moving. So I started asking, how did this happen? I started with Mosque developments in North Texas. What I found was not one secret deal. It was a playbook. Alan gave me the first clue. In 2010, before the Islamic Association of Alan even took title to its 5.6-acre property, the land was already moving through a zoning amendment that specifically allowed a church, temple, or rectory. A concept plan for a worship facility was already being reviewed. The city approved the amendment in April. The deed came almost a month later. That was the moment I realized I had been reading these projects backward. The deed wasn't always the beginning. Frisco showed me another version of the same thing. The Islamic Center for Quad Cities, ICQC, didn't buy random raw land. They bought a site after another congregation had already spent years vetting for religious development. Then McKinney showed me something else. The mosque bought land already sitting inside an old planned development framework. Different projects, different histories, but the same lesson kept showing up. The visible building was late in the story. Then I found Epic City. More than 400 acres, homes, apartments, businesses, a school, a mosque. And if you only looked at the deed, you'd think the story began in September 2024. It didn't. Epic already had the land under contract. Westwood had already drawn the master plan. A development vehicle had been created. And hundreds of investors were being organized to fund it. By the time the deed appeared, the project was already alive. And this is where Epic City became different from the other examples. The project wasn't waiting for one wealthy buyer to write a check. A separate investment vehicle, Community Capital Partners, was created to acquire and develop the property. Its investor materials described a plan to raise money for both the land and the development itself. The offering allowed investors to participate starting at $40,000, and the structure connected that investment to the possibility of purchasing a future lot and the development. Hundreds of people participated. So instead of looking at one buyer, one donor, or one institution, you're looking at organized capital distributed across a community. And that changes what becomes possible. Once I put all these projects next to each other, the pattern became much easier to see. First, find the land. Then understand what can be built there, or what would need to change. Get control of the property. Bring in the planners, engineers, architects, and lawyers. Organize the money. Then move through the approvals. And only much later does the rest of the public see the building. That's why watching construction is too late. If you want to understand what is coming, you have to learn to watch the land. And I think this is where Christians have to change how we think. We cannot wait until the bulldozers show up. We cannot wait until the public hearing is already scheduled. We cannot show up to the city council angry after years of planning have already happened behind us. We have to become proactive. Learn who owns the land. Learn what is being rezoned. Learn who is filling applications. Learn who is financing projects. Learn how your city actually works. And yes, build your own communities too. Churches, schools, businesses, land, institutions that can last. But we also have to stop being so easy to surprise, because being informed early changes what you can do. Showing up early changes what you can ask, and understanding the system changes whether you're reacting to the future or helping shape it. The sleeping giant does not need more outrage. It needs to wake up earlier. Learn the system. Show up early. Build what lasts.